evening, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Pub Table Racers. The date today is October 20th, 2020. Star date, I guess we could say. Welcome. Thanks for tuning us in tonight. We appreciate it like we do every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. My name is Tim Packman. And Tim Packman. Next to me is
Warren Brazell.
And Warren and I have been friends since the late 90s. Worked together a couple of times. So we have a background in the sport. And we've met a few people along the way and had some fun.
Yep.
True story. Warren, why do we have a bucket of Miller High Life in front of us?
We have a bucket of Miller High Life in front of us because of our favorite driver of all time.
That's right.
And our childhood hero, Bobby Allison.
And our guest was last Saturday. And by the way, thank you all who tuned in, and we had a huge response. I'll say this nicely. We had some audio challenges, but that's okay. Live and learn. But thank you for all of you that tuned in with us. It was great. And he had a blast, so that was good, and we got to have a beer with him. So that's good. Now, I didn't take my sip yet.
Take your sip. I'll take some. I take more than a sip.
Don't make me laugh when I'm doing that. All over. All right, tonight's show is brought to you like it is each and every week, and the website Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms, located on Brawley School Road by Canvasback and Oak. Go see Brad, JoJo, and Patrick. We talk about it all the time. The game room downstairs has been totally redone. Go get your pool tables, tabletop hockey. What do you call it? Foosball? Foosball. And then upstairs he has all kinds of furniture, Adirondack chairs, all weather, just go get it. It's great stuff.
All your man cave needs.
Man cave needs. And ladies, he has a great selection that'll appeal to your eye too, and he can do custom colors. So go see him and tell him Pub Table Racer sent you, and he says he'll give you a discount. I don't know what that. So there. Hi everybody, this is Tim Packman from Pub Table Racers, coming to you from Lake Norman Patio and Game Room. I'm coming to you to one of their awesome, incredible pub tables. I'm here with the owner, Brad Doan. Brad, one of our sponsors of the show. Brad, let's take people around and show them exactly what it is you have here. So
great idea.
Our viewers and website followers can know what you have to come down and get some of these great items.
Fantastic idea, Tim.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is one of our top sellers. That is all powder-coated cast aluminum. Okay, comes with 4 swivel bar stools.
Gotta have the swivel.
Gotta have the swivel. Actually, a nice footrest down below here. Demonstrate that. This is great 42-inch top with an umbrella hole for your 9-foot umbrella. That's an Adirondack style bar chair. Again, a swivel bar stool, Tim. And that comes in many different color options. There's a few of the color samples right on top.
Very good.
It's marine grade polymer and maintenance free, lifetime warranty, Amish made, Tim, one of our best sellers.
Okay, here's a nice outdoor fireplace, you call it?
Well, that is a propane fire pit,
okay.
Tim. Commercial grade, high BTUs, all weather unit. Of course, comes with optional colored glass, which we'll actually throw in and give you.
Ooh.
And many different options on seating around the fire pit.
Very good. So the Adirondack chairs like we see right here?
Yeah, we sell a ton of those. Let me just go over here. We just got about 50 of these in the other day.
50 of them.
These are folding Adirondack chairs with a lifetime warranty out of the marine grade polymer. We have some different pub tables and bar tables outside, Tim.
This one's nice. Everyone can sit right at it together.
Yeah, that's a very nice stainless steel. Of course, painted in any color you want. Built-in 4 seats. That's one of our balcony chairs. It's a little shorter than a standard bar chair. And of course, chaise lounges. All different color options on those. 20-year warranty on the chaise lounges. Okay. One of the many bars that we sell, Tim. This is a smaller one, a 4-footer. Comes with swivel bar stools. And you can do any color combination. Look at that, that's great. A footrest. Yeah, really great little unit. And we sell a lot of those different colors. These are the bar height chairs, Tim, in the poly. Here's a vintage bumper pool table that just came in. And here's a video game over here with 60 arcade games built in.
For sale?
For sale.
Oh.
Everything in here is for sale.
Okay.
We do a lot of deep seating as well. Sunbrella fabric, which is all weather.
Perfect.
And lots of options here, Tim.
All right. Well, do us a favor, Pub Table Racers. Go to lknpatio.com. Check out all the great things. If you're in the Mooresville, Lake Norman area, come out on Brawley School Road near Canvasback and Oak. Come in, see Brad and JoJo, and tell them Pub Table Racers sent you. Thank you,
Yes,
Brad.
Joe. Thanks, Tim. See you soon, everybody.
Hello, everybody that's tuning in. Say hi to you all real quick. See Stephanie, hey, Zoanne, the garage shop, Snarky Times in the house. By the way, Aaron,
Bobby there.
Yeah, so you had to try to one up us. We have Bobby on. You got to have Bobby at your place. We saw that. So that's pretty good. Hey, Carol, how are you? Yes, we enjoyed Bobby being on the other night. Have him back when your audio is better. We have a plan for that, and we think we might do one better. So
Is that going to bother you? You want me to get it?
no, it's fine. I won't look at it. There's a TV on over there. And
It's not really on. It's just not off.
That's. What does that mean?
Well, there's nothing on it.
Okay, all right, we can do that. Tonight's show, we're going to talk about things that are going on in the news, and then after we get done with that, we'll bring on our guest tonight, Jay Guarneri, a longtime veteran of the sport, worked with multiple teams and drivers, and he has a few stories that he's going to share that we're guaranteed you're going to enjoy. Let's talk about the news, shall we?
Real quick.
Real quick. So, truck race was Brett Moffitt on Saturday
Saturday.
afternoon. Him and his teammate had a little, I don't know, contact, and
They had a
Zane
little challenging
right, yeah.
event.
I got to give Zane Smith credit.
When your teammates, that just...
Well, Brett said I was trying to block him until I got the lead back, and Zane said I'm not going to say too much about it. So that's for GMS to work out. And then in the Xfinity race later that night, our buddy Chase Briscoe goes out there, gets the win again, dominating fashion. First stage 1, stage 2, and then he earns his 9th win in the season, which is a record. Beats Samard and Jack Ingram, no slouches in the history of Xfinity/Busch, what do you want to say? And then we'll get to something else about him in a second. And Warren, what happened in the Cup race on Sunday? Would you care to share with us, Mr. Team Penske guy?
So it seems to be that we had Chase on the show.
Yeah, a while ago.
I thought about this Sunday after.
I know where this is going. Go ahead.
Right, we had Chase on the show. He says he needs to win 9 times.
Yeah.
He fulfills that.
Okay.
So I don't know if we helped him with that, but
Right. Sure.
he was on our show, Prop Tables, before Dirty Mo.
Right. He did Dale Jr.'s download. He was on with us first.
Right.
Yeah.
We decided to have him on,
And then-
and he. And then on Sunday, the 22 car happens to hold. I'll say hold the 4 car off, because that's all you're doing with Kevin is you're holding him off, because if you mess up one little bit, he's going to get you.
Oh, sure. He's the David Pearson of today.
And it was a 22 car,
Right?
which just happened to be Bobby Allison's number. We had Bobby Allison on the day before, so there might be something to do with this show. I don't know.
So what you're saying is, if you're an up-and-coming driver or you want to have a good weekend,
Right, you
come
might
on
wanna-
Pub Table
you might
Racers,
wanna get on the show.
and the goodness will follow you afterwards. That's
Right.
good. Well, you get free beer and you get to hang out in the
It might be a wing and a beer and a
Honeysuckle Loop.
wing and a prayer.
Honeysuckle Creek Loop Studios. Did I say that right? Yeah, that's it. So anyhow, so we got that team. So first of all, congrats to you. Joe
Thank you.
Delgado won.
And he's in the show.
Locks him in for the show. And I just realized that the guy that is our guest tonight worked on the 4 car. So
Yeah,
on Sunday, so
he told
that's going to
us
be kind of interesting, right
yeah,
there.
well, that's good.
That's
It's
good. Hey, you know
good
what?
stuff.
That's what it's all about. Someone's got to win. Someone's got to finish second, right? That groan you heard was from our guest who worked on the 4 car. All right. So in other news, so yesterday was busy, a busy day.
Kind of busy.
Kind of busy. So first it was Eric Jones. We pretty sure he's going to go to the 43.
Yeah.
Okay. So speculations there. I didn't really see that coming. Everyone thought he was going to go to the 48, but then that kind of got cold, and then they moved Bowman from the 88 to the 48.
But we think we know what's going on there.
Because yesterday afternoon, it was
Kyle
announced
Larson also got confirmed to be back into NASCAR.
he has completed enough sensitivity training to NASCAR satisfaction. He still has more to do, they say, and so he is reinstated as of January 1st.
Right. He's
2021.
just sensitive enough, right?
Right, I guess. I'm sure he's learned, and we followed what he's done, and some of the things he's done is I don't want to say correct, but since he's done that, and it's hopefully it was a one-time deal, and he said he's learned. So like anybody said,
He'll move on.
We'll move on, and we go from there.
Right.
And like we've talked about before, if there's one team owner that has the pull and carries the weight with the manufacturer, it's going to be Rick Hendry.
Yeah.
Right. But I think they bring back this.
I have some mixed feelings about that whole deal because of the Chip Ganassi.
Sure, the Chevrolet.
What happened there with Chevrolet and did Chip get a chance to have him back first, or
was there so much bad feeling?
If he even goes there, we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Right. Until it's official. Hey, Jamie Pugh, how are you? Steve Tidmore's there. Ginger Baker Rust. Cheryl, my sister. Tom Beatty, how you guys doing? Great. Jacqueline Moss. All these people tuning in from all around the country tonight for Pub Table Racers?
All over the world.
All right, so I'm going to cheers you for the win. You're locked
Cheers.
into the
Thank
chase. You're in the final 4. 3 spots open. Go ahead, fill them real quick. Who do you have?
I have Brad, Kevin, and Denny.
Okay.
That's what I'm going
Okay,
with.
so Brad. Okay.
There's going to be 3 Fords
Yeah.
racing for the championship,
Okay.
which I think our other guest, Jeff Clark, will really like.
Yep. And,
And
who do you got for winning it? You going to go there yet, or you going to wait?
I'm going to wait.
Okay, me too. What, till our guest is gone? No, I'm kidding. No, so that's it. So this is also Haley Deegan.
I don't jinx myself.
Haley Deegan.
I got to get someone on here from the 2 car.
Oh, that'll be a Homer show. And the trucks, Haley Deegan runs 1 truck race at Kansas, and boom! In the middle, and they announced, I think, right in the middle of the race, that she was going to go full-time next year with DGR Crossley, which,
Right.
you know, she's 19. She said, look, this isn't going to happen overnight. I'm not going to win my first race. People got to realize it's going to take some time. So, like, everyone's like, oh, let's get going with her. But she has the mindset that this is going to be a slow process for her.
If I was her, I would be talking to Chase Briscoe.
Right.
And asking him what she needs to do to get through this period in
Right.
her career, because he is sure knocking it out of the
But
park.
see, he went from, I want to say obscurity, but he went from, you know, like you said, sleeping on couches and
Right.
begging to clean shops to...
And from somewhat
Forward.
mediocrity, we'll
Right,
say,
right.
to being a dominant force in that series. It's
Right.
just, it's amazing what he's doing.
Well, she brings a lot of personality, and, you know, I hope they're not doing the Danica push on her like they did on Danica, because we saw how that worked out, but, you know, she had her time and had her
We
chance.
can ask our guests about
Again, he actually worked with her, so
Yeah.
there you go. Hey everybody, this is Tim and Warren from Pub Table Racers. A lot of you have been asking, hey, what other merchandise do you have? We have hats, t-shirts, stickers, kids' books. We have it. Let's just show them, Warren. Show them the hats real quick.
Hats.
So they're the white, vented,
right?
back, snapback, trucker style. And
They
also
come in
the black.
small, medium, and large.
Depending how you snap them, that's good. Also, we have our black t-shirts, Pub Table Race t-shirts in large, extra large, and double XL. Warren, we also have left. Which ones we have?
These are the heather gray, the
Heather
beautiful
gray.
heather gray.
Very soft, nice. It's good. So
I have one
those.
on.
You have one on.
My
tonight?
favorite.
That's it. We have those available. Also, people ask about the children's book I wrote, award-winning children's book. I can say that. This is the paperback version, and this is the activity book for kids, and you can see that. And also, what do we have brand new, Warren? Stickers. $3. You can get a sticker. You can put it on, your
car,
notebook,
your motorcycle.
Motorcycle?
Right, sure.
You can put it on your bucket of beer, whatever you want to
Right.
do. We don't care. So check us out. It's on the website. The store's right there. Log in, order. We'll ship it right to you. So there you go, folks. Pub Table Racers. Merchandise. Thanks. All right. Thank you, everybody. Troy Prince is here. Uh-oh, there's a blast. Whoa. Chrissy Hensley's here. That means Pop-Tart's watching, too. All right. So our guest. I don't even know where to start with this guy. He's been in racing. He's from Naples, Florida. He started when he was a teenager, just going to a shop, hanging out with these... with the race team, and at age 16, he went on the road with Jimmy Hensley in the Billy Begley in the All-Pro Series. From there, he got a job, moved to Charlotte with barely anything, like a lot of us do.
Yeah.
And came here, so I'm winging a prayer, and got a place, and started working. He made connections. So Joe Gibbs Racing, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated was another stop of his, and he's now currently on the test team and the R&D for Stewart-Haas Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Jay Guarneri as our King of the Keg tonight. There you go.
Jay.
Jay, thanks for coming.
Gentlemen.
That's it. Can we offer you a...
Brewski?
Not that you have a choice.
You want to be on a show?
You're gonna accept Briscoe. We understood his...
Is he old enough to drink yet?
He is, but
He is, but he doesn't, and we respect
respect
that.
it.
And we just...
Hey, Jeff Clark had a poultry... allergic to poultry.
Jeff Clark has a poultry
is.
allergy.
So we didn't have chicken wings.
Yeah, we
had
skipped the wings.
So when we go to dinner, I don't do no mouth to mouth with him.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So that's,
So if he's choking, it's like, sorry,
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
I'm having chicken.
Should've had
Should have had something else.
You're not going to make
Right.
it.
All right. Bob Bogner's here. Bogner's on here. Wow, we got heavy hitters. First of all, cheers. Welcome to the show.
Cheers.
Thanks
Cheers.
for coming on.
Congrats on your win. Hope you choke
Thank
on
you.
it.
That didn't take long. So, Jay, what did you think of the race on Sunday? Since you were working on the number 4 car with
Well,
Kevin
yeah,
Robert.
I had to fill in this weekend.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind doing it all.
Right.
But you guys like, man, I did 2 races with them last year, and they always said I was a bad luck because we went to Texas, we didn't do too good. Went to Pocono, had a steering box issue, and
Right.
then I'm like, this weekend I was like, yeah, we're going to win this race, you know. And then
Right.
congratulations to TJ Majors for winning that race, right?
Yeah, the
Spotter
spotter helped a lot.
Yep.
But it didn't happen. But hey, you know, it was a good day. It was a good day. So hopefully it all keeps on going forward.
All right, so just tell us what you do at Stewart-Haas Racing, and then we'll go back.
So Stewart-Haas Racing, you know, traveled for the last 10 years, last year and this year, a test team R&D, and actually this year with the whole COVID deal, actually kind of floating around, been in the body shop for most part of it, but come out and helped out, kind of like that, hey, come out, we need you for here,
From
need
the
you for there.
bullpen, right,
Yeah,
right.
And that's like this weekend, so it's, I guess with all the years experience, it's been pretty good to be able to fill in if somebody is either out, you know, whatever the situation is, I
Right.
can kind of be plugged in and not have to worry about it.
I like to call guys kind of like us. We're roofers. We can do everything from the
Yeah.
roof down.
Well, you know,
And if you can do a
Exactly
little
right.
fab work, you can do a little body work. You can put seats. You know, you mentioned you're putting
Yeah,
seats
I
in.
was- yeah, those-
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, I mean, when I started here in 1996, you know, we bush raced. You
Right.
did everything
Yeah,
back then.
right.
I mean,
You had to.
you didn't have specialized people like you do now. So, you know, you were putting windshields in, you were doing crush panels, you were demounting tires back
Yeah.
then, you know. So I think those years of it, now, granted, the last 10 years of being on the road, you're doing the same thing, but you still, you don't forget that stuff, you know?
Right.
So let's go back. So you're from Naples, Florida.
Yep.
And you got your interest in racing because of?
I had a buddy of mine. He actually sponsored a late model down there, Billy Bigley Jr.,
Right.
which a lot of people know from All Pro Series
Yeah.
and stuff. Did that. Didn't know a crescent wrench from a screwdriver at 11 years old, and started going to the shop. And you know, just each day, each week, just
Right.
kept on going. And then 16 years old, we started traveling. Our local short track, Collier County Speedway, shut down, so we went to Hialeah, which I know a lot of people are
Yep.
familiar with
Yeah.
Hialeah Speedway. All Pro used to go down to Hialeah, so we got an All Pro car. Billy raced that, and then next year we started doing the All Pro circuit.
About what year was that? You remember?
1986. I was
Okay.
16 years old, so you know, still in school. You know, you go to school. I had Billy come pick me up. We go to the shop till 9:30. Mom would
Yeah.
say about 9:30. Get home, do your homework. You know,
Right.
and then started traveling on weekends. That's when really the traveling started for those 2 years. Then,
So you're 16. What did your parents say about all that?
yeah, you know. Your 16-year-old kid's going away.
Right.
He's gonna get in a truck or a dually.
Right.
You gonna drive how many hours? Like, I don't know, it's like 14, Mom. It's okay. You drive the truck and trailer? Yeah. Sometime about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right,
Well,
yeah.
young kid.
When everybody else is crashed out, I gotta drive.
Yeah, you get the 4 to 6 shift,
Yeah.
and when we get there, you got to get in the tire truck, get your tires out.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But you're young, you get away with that, right? So when I moved up here, everybody's like, "You want a CDL and you drive a big tractor?" I'm like, "No, I did it for 10 years for
Right.
free. I'm not going to do it up here."
Yeah,
So,
that's a good
Yeah.
call.
yeah, I did that right. But, you know, we did the All-Pro circuit, and, you know, that was fun. I started meeting people and people that were in North Carolina that were racing full-time. And they're like, "Man, you got to get up here and do this NASCAR deal." I'm like, "Man, here I am, like 22 years old, getting offers to come up here." I waited till I was 25, and
Right.
I'm glad I did it, you know, and I always tell people I wish I would have done it right when I, you know, got out of school, because I raced my whole life. You know, I started off at the bottom and worked my way up, and you know, there's a lot of kids and a lot of people that come that way that have done that.
Right.
And then you got the schools up here; it makes it a lot easier for
Sure.
the kids
Yeah.
to get involved now. Where before you had to do all the grunt, you had to go to shops. at
Yeah,
night. You had to do all
You
that.
were sweeping the floor,
Yeah.
waxing the car.
Yeah.
Cleaning parts.
Right.
Yep.
You know, you just didn't get on a race team
No.
and go.
You're not going up here and just moving to North Carolina
Right.
now. You know, it's even harder, I believe now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
call us older gentlemen that are in the race that have been doing
Veterans.
it for 25. Yeah, veterans.
Yeah,
That's not good.
yeah.
It's just it's harder for the kids in a certain way, but then sometimes you can come up here and get in the right situation.
Right.
Well, and you know, I when you have young kids ask you, you always say, "Well, go to your local track
Just
first,
tell everybody to
Yeah,
start
and
there.
that's where I started.
and learn everything you can from them guys."
And make sure you like it, because what you
Yeah.
see on TV,
Right.
once
Yeah.
you're there, like, oh wait, this isn't good.
Yeah,
and, you know,
the
big
glamour isn't always there.
Right.
It takes a while to get to be a
Well,
little bit
right.
glamorous. you know.
Especially back in the 80s, you know, let's go back to the 80s. So in 1984, I went to the Firecracker 400. I watched Greg Sachs win. That was back when Greg Sachs won
Right.
that
Yeah.
R&D car. And that was the first time I sat in the grandstands, and here I'm at that Daytona. This is the Firecracker 400.
Right.
It wasn't a 500, but I was like, right there, it took one race to go,
Yep.
okay, I like this.
I get it.
Yeah.
Now we're traveling, we're doing late model racing, you know, and, you know, we're down here, and then I was starting the offers in, you know, 92, 93, and I'm like, man, was I ready to leave Naples, Florida, my family, my friends, and then it come to 95, and I got too many good offers. I was like, okay, I'm 25, let's go do this. If it doesn't work out, I can
Right.
always go back home.
Right.
And the sport was kind of blowing up then too.
Sport was big.
Big.
I mean, in the 90s.
Stands were always
Yeah.
full.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, that was back when Bristol was on a 5-year wait.
Yeah,
Stuff like
and,
that.
they were adding grandstands in
Yeah,
places,
it
Dover and
was
stuff like that.
crazy back then. So to get the opportunity with a couple different offers, I decided, hey, let's go.
So you talk about offers. Like, what was the first team you worked for?
So when I moved up here, I went to work for ST Motorsports, which was Steve Plattberger and Tag Geschichter.
Oh, wow.
Jeff Fuller was driving. They had the first year, 95, with Sunoco, and Steve had wanted me to come up that year. And I was
Right.
like, okay, you guys got a new team. I don't want to move up. I'll just make sure it's solid for me.
Sure.
Steve Addington was in Kell Racing in Greenville Pickens, South Carolina,
Yep,
with
that's right.
Jason Keller back
Yep,
then.
remember.
So those are both all-pro buddies, you know.
Right. Yep.
And I was like, okay, if I'm going to move, then I'm going to go to North Carolina.
Right.
So, and I've known Steve Plattberger a little longer, and it just took off. I worked for Steve and them for the first year with Fuller. We won a Busch North race and a Busch South race.
Right.
Bristol being my first big win, I guess you want to say that. And Bristol's like one of my favorite racetracks. I think Daytona, Bristol,
Right.
are my two
Yeah.
So who was
favorite
your first win with?
tracks. Jeff Fuller.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
because you're a young man and you were in, I'm sure, pristine shape back then.
Way better.
Right. I mean, me too.
was
You
26
probably
years ago.
You probably were going over the wall where you
Yep,
changed
changing tires. Yep, back Busch racing, you take, you mechanicked in the
Yeah,
shop.
you got to
on the
do
road,
you got to do a little bit of everything.
Right.
Change
Right,
tires. So
yeah.
I was changing tires in '96, and
Yeah.
that was one of my, I think, better things that got me. I'm sure it got me a couple
You,
good jobs.
you start to make a name for
Right.
yourself with that.
Well, with '96, I did that, and then 1997, I got hired by Gary Dehart in a 5-car,
Okay.
and Terry Lamaya just won the championship the year
Over at
before.
Hendrick.
So I'm thinking to myself,
Wow.
okay, I've been here for 1 year,
And
and
you're going to-
I'm going to work for Winston Cup champions. The next
Right.
year, I'm like, this ain't nothing, right? It's fake, right? But as we all know, this sport is very, very,
Very
Yeah,
humbling.
it's
very humbling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I worked for the 5-car for
Right.
like 8 months or whatever it was, and
How'd it go there? Did you
so
win there?
the kid that was changing tires was going to retire at the end of the year.
Right.
Walt Smith, who was a good friend of ours.
Yeah, right.
Walt said, "Hey,
A
look,
conditioning coach.
consistency coach, pit coach back
Pit coach
then.
back in the day,
When
yeah.
the best Jack men back in the
Yeah,
Right before he
absolutely.
did that.
70s or 60s was it? Back was it?
Dan Burr still credits Paul for one of his wins. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not on
Yeah.
it.
But Walt was our pit coach over at ST Motorsports. He saw a lot of future in me, and
Good.
this opportunity was going to be for the next year. So I went on the road with them, and
What was
pit
Terry
coach,
like?
and Terry is cool.
Yeah.
Terry is really cool. I'll never forget. We were at Martinsville, and we're in this. That's back when you had qualifying motors. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't make
Yeah,
the first
gosh, that's
round.
right, yeah.
So Saturday morning, we're in there, and it's puking oil out. I'm inside the car, getting rags and stuff. I looked at it. He looks over at me. He goes, "This motor ain't gonna make it much longer." I go, "Nah, probably not." That's when you had qualifying motors and stuff. You know? But getting back to humbling, Andy Graves, they came up there at the end of the year.
That's right.
They made a big crew chief change, and about 5 or 6 guys walked in the door with them from the 25 shop.
Yeah.
And I looked over and went, "Let's see, I'm the last guy I got hired here.
Yeah.
This ain't looking good."
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just the wrong place.
And we all know that happened.
Yeah,
That's just how it is.
It was nothing. It was
Right.
just, I was his last guy. I was a new guy, and they had to make room for his guys, and it's part of business. So I went back to ST Motorsports, did some Busch racing, did some Cup, changing tires on Sundays,
So you're
filling in
picking-
for.
so you're
Yeah,
still
so
working
I started doing a little bit of both. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I want to go Cup racing. So long story short, ST Motorsports was going to move down to like Locust or somewhere with Phil Parsons, and I was just like, I didn't want to go that far. I was like, I'm just going to take a break, regroup a little bit, and I went to go see our buddy Johnny Allen when Diamond Ridge got bought out by Joe Gibbs Racing.
Right.
So they had Jeff Purvis over there. Long story short, we went to lunch, and Brian Frazier was over there, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, I just going to have some lunch with Johnny." "You're not working?" I said, "No, actually, I just took some time off. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for next
Right.
year."
Right.
I come back from lunch, and Brian called me in the shop, and he's like, "Hey, we got this new deal with Jason Leffler. Joe bought both these teams."
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I go, "Jason Leffler, the USAC," and he goes, "Yeah. So it might be probably a hard year." He goes, "Yeah, we're looking for some really good people. I want to have you come over." So after I got done eating lunch, I basically had a job.
Sure.
I got my toe
Nice.
box, and that was back then. I could be working for you in the
Right.
morning, and
Right.
me and you didn't. I could work for him in the afternoon.
And the word of mouth thing, or
$2 Monday.
just being
Yeah,
at
that's it, roll it.
being at the right spot at the right
Yep.
time.
And that's what it
sometimes.
was.
Yeah.
All I did is went to go have lunch.
Yeah, you
Right.
didn't. If you wouldn't have had lunch that day, that time,
Then you
wouldn't
run
have-
into somebody,
Right.
yeah.
So here I am working for Joe Gibbs Racing Busch team. Was changing still stuff on Sundays, filling in for people
Right.
that got hurt, fired, whatever the situation was. And then Troy Prince,
Yep.
who I'm sure is on
He's
your
watching,
still.
yeah.
Yep. So me and Troy Troy's my tire carrier, and Troy changed carry tires for the Wood Brothers. So we ended up doing 3 years together. So I was working 7 days a week.
Oh.
So Troy would work in the shop Monday through
Right.
Friday. He'd come in on Saturday, carry my tire in the Busch car, and
Right.
we would stay over and do the Wood Brothers as a team.
Okay.
So we did it for 3
So
years.
the two of you were the team, so that was good. Okay.
Yeah. So we didn't have to go pit practice or nothing up there.
Right,
We just
yeah.
basically we stayed over Saturday night, actually in Mike McLaughlin's motorhome,
Right.
driver, who,
Right.
Tony Rowe,
Yeah.
had a motorhome to ourselves. It worked out pretty good for 3 years.
Good.
So I did that. And the change of tire deal and all that. And then I got a phone
What
call.
was Leffler? We haven't.
Oh, sorry, we're talking about Leffler?
No,
Leffler?
no, he was one, but the Keller too.
Jason Keller?
Yeah.
I never worked with him.
Okay, I thought you
So
did.
Steve Addington.
Oh, that's right.
Jason
I'm
Keller's.
sorry.
Yeah,
I
so that was
apologize.
two deals. Yeah,
Got it.
We raced with Billy Bigley against
right.
him in all places, so I knew him really well. But yeah, Jason Leffler, that was cool. Then we had Mike McLaughlin over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike was good. His last win with Talladega was part of that, so that was really cool to get his last win. Then I got an opportunity to go to DEI. I got a
What
phone
year was
call.
that?
03 for the 03 season.
Okay. Okay.
My
Perfect.
contract was in at 02, and they called me up, and they're like, "Hey."
You and Troy came together, right?
So they wanted me to come change tires, and
Okay.
I told Ty Norris, I said, "Hey, can I bring my tire?" Because Troy's looking for something different too. I said, "We're a great combination."
Yeah.
And yes, can I come? But can we do it together? So that's how that whole package deal.
Right.
If you got somebody that takes you, like I told Troy, I was like almost done with changing tires. Troy was carrying Jay still for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because if you get a good tire carrier, I don't care how good a tire changer you are.
Right.
It's all about the tire carrier,
Yeah.
right? So
You can make or break
I
it.
said, okay, so you said you carried me. Let's go over to this deal together. So I got Troy in there too. So it worked out for both of us, But I had an opportunity.
You
to work
started
03 is my first year.
January.
January 1st.
So you and I started at the same time.
Yeah.
At Dillon Incorporated. You started there when?
In 98.
99.
99.
So
99.
Yeah, you've been there for a
Yeah,
while.
you've been there a lot longer
Yeah.
than us. So, another thing, you went from a Joe Gibbs Racing
Right.
to a Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Like, I was always told, never go this, either this or up.
Right.
Never
Right.
go, and I just felt like the 5 car was awesome, but that was
Sure.
just
Right.
the situation. So
Sure.
I didn't let that bother me. But from going to Gibbs, which, I remember, I'll never forget, I was going there to tell Tim Shutt that in November I'm not going to renew my contract.
Tim Shutt.
Tim Shutt was a crew chief for Mike McLaughlin at the time, and I remember JD Gibbs calling up and Tim going, JD, I gotta get back to you. I gotta figure out why Jake Guarneri is quitting. He hung up. Well, it wasn't 5 minutes later. His cell phone was ringing. I looked down. It's JD Gibbs. He goes, "Hey, can you come over and talk to me and my dad before you leave?" So I went over and talked to him.
So you went and talked to the coach too?
Yeah, but it's not going to the principal's office.
Sure, it's like I go see the coach.
So they asked me why I was quitting. I said, "Look, you guys don't promote nobody from within. I'm changing tires on Sundays against you with the Wood Brothers."
Right.
Right.
Which they said, as long as it wasn't a top 25 team, which they were floating right around there. They were still in Virginia. There was a
Yep,
lot of things
yep.
back then that,
Right.
heck, we won a race at Bristol with them in 2001 with Elliott.
Elliott Sadler.
The
Elliott Sadler.
110 miles,
Yeah,
110
so-
laps, I mean?
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But
Pat Tryson.
Pat Tryson.
There you go, yep, that's it.
Back straight away if you want to keep that for a note too.
Yeah. The only reason I remember that is I was there with Michael and
Walter?
with Michael Waltrip and Scott Eggleston, and we were so terrible.
At Bristol.
Junk.
Right.
What's that? What was different than any other
Stupid.
week? Not much. Right?
Well, there was some high.
I did a year with them, so
There were some high points in that career.
Yeah, there was.
We always.
They're on 2.5 or 2.6.
I won't beat up on Michael on this show. He almost ruined my career several times, but
Jay took care of it for you, don't worry about it.
at any rate, no, I remember that race because you guys, there was some pit strategy involved,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Pat did a great job, and you guys did a great job, and Elliott Sadler won the race.
Dan Lynch says you better put Jay's beard back on ice. It's going to get warm.
Sorry.
This is a participation.
I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Also, if I can't.
Oh, please. Oh, wow.
So-
Nice.
So
You're on an early shift, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the all-day shift. We're on the 40-hour week deal. There's some people on 40 hours.
We're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there must be
Right.
special people that get on 40 hours. I don't know what it is. Man. We got certain sections of our shop that work 40, and we got the part-time deal too.
Right.
So it's kind
Okay.
of broken up. They got to do it their way. They got
Okay.
to do it. So, but getting the 8-car days. Change tires in the 8-car in 03. I was supposed to work in the shop. I was supposed to just come in on Sundays, change tires. I was like, okay, I'm finally getting off the road.
Right.
And then I get asked the first week, back in Daytona, we used to go test, the 5th, 6th, 7th, which was like a Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, we were there.
So like, hey, Tony Jr. and Pops are like, hey, would you mind going down and testing with us because we're a shorter road guy? I'm like, yeah, no, I can.
Sure. You're new or anything, no?
Shit, yeah, I've been here a week and a half. Okay, yeah.
No, I don't want to do that, yeah.
So he goes, look, Dale Jr. it takes a little while for him to get to know you. He'll be shy. It might take a year for him to really talk to you. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not here to be buddy buddies. I'm here
Sure.
to do my job and win races,
Right.
right?
Right.
So about noon on the first day, Dale Jr. gets on the radio and goes, "Hey, new guy."
And this
So-
is testing in Daytona.
Yeah, just I'm like, "Me?" He's like, "You are the new guy." I'm like, "Yeah, you got it." So I walk over and start talking to him, and me and him hit it off.
That's good.
So we go back, and that was when you used to go home Thursday night, fly
Yep.
home, and Friday morning you cut the body off the car because it wasn't
Right. At least a fender or five.
Stevie cut the whole right side. I walk over and go, "What are you doing?" We were on top of the board. He goes, "Don't ever doubt me." Yeah, gotcha.
So Stiffy's Tony
Jr.,
Jr.
yeah.
And we called him that because he was famous for, oh, let's do this. And he'd get over there and he'd start helping you working, and also he'd go, I'll be right back. And he would just stiff out and leave the job.
He also wasn't afraid to stay there all night and do his
No, and he
work.
can do the work, too.
Yeah, he can do the work.
I'm just talking with a nickname kind
So
of
they
thing.
called me in the office on Friday afternoon.
At Dillon
D
Incorporated,
guy, I'm only there 2 weeks. I'm like, "Hey, we got a problem." I'm like,
Oh, no.
"Yeah, I guess so. Well, I've been here 2 weeks. I mean, what'd I do, you know?" "Well, we're not going to leave you home. You're way too valuable to be. We're going to put you on the road. Are you okay with that?" I'm like, "Hey, I left Gibbs Racing to come here and win a championship, so that's what it takes."
Perfect.
Changed tires, won about 5 races, I think, that first year. It was good times. The next year,
What was it like watching him evolve a little bit? Because that was kind of when he was growing as a person. So,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
'cause
we
Dale Jr.
lost
was
his dad,
probably-
you know, we lost the big guy behind us
Yep.
there. And all of a sudden, and we all know because we were there working together, he shouldered the sport.
oh yeah,
Not willingly, but he was just like,
It was handed to
it
him.
was handed to him, but he didn't,
I
he
feel-
wasn't ready for it, but he, little by little, started to accept it. So as he started winning,
I feel like when I went there in 2003, which was 2 years past the death, I felt like that was the right time.
right,
Like I feel like everything that happened that
Yeah.
we
Right.
out there was right.
right.
I think if I would have got, if they offered me in 2001, I don't think it would have been
Because it was just so,
just because it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost
Yeah.
my dad 25 years ago, and
Right.
I'm still thinking about it, you know,
Right.
and his situation is totally different. So with that being said, yeah, I think it's 2 years. It doesn't make it any better,
Right.
but I think he was more focused. I guess is the right word.
He was. I'm not going to say getting over it, but he was.
No.
He was more focused on his racing.
racing, yeah.
What I'll say is also at that time, and you know, being there, DEI was starting to come into its own. We were a force to be reckoned with
Right,
at those in that era.
right.
Yeah.
Like,
You
if
know,
we went to Daytona.
we were as good as Joe Gibbs
Right,
or Roush
yes.
or
It wasn't just speedways either.
or
right?
Hendrick. No, it
I
was
thought Go 304. We
it
got our
was-
crap together.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people, you know, when I bring this up and talk about it, and you can attest to this, that you know, if that place stays together,
Yes.
that's going to be a Hendrick or a Joe
Yeah.
Gibbs
Yeah,
forever.
And
you know, a Penske.
And it would have.
You know,
Yeah, it would have been, that's a lot of people say, like, if DEI was still open, would you have still been there? I'm like, well,
I
yeah,
say
we
yes.
all-
absolutely.
I say yes.
We all would
yeah,
have
if
been
they would
there.
have had me.
I drive
you
by
know.
there and I still get sad.
Oh,
I
yeah, when you drive by there, just look over and go,
Right.
What happened?
it's a sad,
What
you know,
happened?
it's
Yeah.
a sad deal. There's a lot of good times
Yeah.
there.
Great times.
Yeah,
We were
awesome
just
times.
getting the snowball was rolling down the hill and it was
we were
getting
going-
bigger.
And then things.
You know, that's how
started to go.
I like to say it.
Yeah.
You know,
And you think yourself, you think Big E's looking down going,
This is great.
this is what I want.
Right.
Exactly.
nothing happens overnight. I mean,
Yep.
even SHR, it took us a couple years to get everything rolling.
Yeah.
It took us 3 years to win a championship with Tony. But the DEI days, I mean, I still got a lot of friends. It's just like anything else. If I'm not working with you, we
Right.
don't hang out as much. If
Right.
I'm not working with
Yeah.
you.
Right, but we see
But we
each
still
other.
see each other,
Right.
Facebook,
Yeah.
whatever situation.
and we respect each other because
We all have
you know
that common.
we know that. You know, I say this too. Good people always get jobs.
Yeah.
You know, and when that place started to crumble, and you watch the good people go
Right.
to
Other teams.
good places,
Right.
and then the next thing you know, you're watching good people be
Right.
in victory lane, and you're like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
they're winning. Oh, now they're winning. Oh, now they're winning.
I feel like if you like that, that's what happens. I think you're
Yeah.
taken care of. That's
Yeah,
Hey, we got someone special just tuned in. Brad.
Brad.
Brad from Lake Norman Patio and Game.
Oh, nice.
that's my buddy.
That's it. Oh, you know Brad.
Yeah, yeah, I know
Oh, yeah, Brad. So I guess he's one of your customers here. So this would be good. This would be good, Brad. This could be a time to remind you. The show and the website are brought to you Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms. Stop in and see him. Jay's a customer.
Brad will take care of you.
And if not, JoJo and Patrick
Right.
are there.
Nice stuff over
And
there.
great stuff. And he's
Do showroom off ball,
yeah. And also
Yep.
he said his business has gone great. Best. He had to move around a little bit, but whatever you need for the outdoors or in the game room, he's got it. So go see him. Oh my gosh, we have Johnny. Little Johnny Trailer Trash is on
Okay.
here. And Frank Mathalia.
That's my buddy Frank.
Frank.
Who is this guy? Did he play on Friends or something?
Go sell some more lawnmowers. This is the guy that posts most. I got this new boat. So Myrtle Beach.
I saw him in Myrtle Beach. We went out for dinner, and he's doing
that's
okay.
What I'm talking about. Those are good. Those are good people.
These are good people.
Right.
Frank Matteo's a good guy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Brad's drinking a beer with us. He said,
Yeah.
so
Good. Oh, Frank is too.
So there's something we were talking about, the interior. You were kind of the guy that, so your job at DI was to make sure the interior of the car, driver comfort.
Yeah, you're kind of the driver comfort originator.
Right.
Yeah, I did the front end on the first year.
Okay.
And we got Craig Lund over there.
Yep,
and we let Craig do that. And it kind of, I took over B. Hoover's spot. B. Hoover took care of Dale Jr. the first couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's just one of them situations where I kind of took it real serious.
Yeah.
Like,
Took it to the next
You have
level.
to, yeah.
Well, I think you do. I mean, with all the stuff that happened in 2001, and then 3 years later,
Right.
I think it was 4 or 5. I think it was 5 I did it, or something, 6
Right.
maybe, whatever. But yeah, I mean, you got to think of new ideas. You got to make sure your job is legit. There's no, the only way I can say is half-ass anything. That's a real. I take it to heart. You know, like
Right.
I got a side by side, and if you look at my side by side, you would think that it's a race car the way it's built inside. I mean,
Right.
I'm not gonna get hurt, so
Right.
I don't expect nothing else. And to this day, I mean,
Well-
you got to take that job serious. And it's
Especially
not,
after 2001,
Yeah,
and
it's-
you, especially with him,
Yeah.
Dale Jr., you had
Well, that's just it,
one
you know,
better.
we got a great relationship with Dale Jr. and any driver I've worked with. I think that's kind of what got me to where I'm at, because you got to take care of the drivers.
Right.
And if you're the last person to put a driver in a car,
Right.
You want to know.
I don't
And his
care who
feet
you
are burning up, or
Yeah, I don't care who you are,
right,
you
or
gotta
his
take
radio
care of it.
doesn't work, or whatever.
And I always told people this, even like Tony Gibbs, I said, y'all need to take care of me, because if it wasn't for me, if I piss them off before they get in the car, it's going to be a long day for you guys.
Right.
So you got to keep positive.
Hey, don't Sunday.
What's one of your favorite? There's a moment, but I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Off the track, Dale Jr. moments. Did you ever go to Club E? You were part of the tourists?
Yeah.
Once, okay. You only
Whiskey
need to go-
River was back, we used to go to the house, and
Right.
that was back to US Race, go-karts all night,
Right.
go in the Whiskey River and have a
Right.
good night. And I'll tell you, there's one story that's pretty funny. So this is when Whiskey River opened up in
Which is Dale Jr.'s
Dale Jr.'s
Western Town.
Western Town, yeah.
Because, if you don't have a place to party, you just build one for yourself.
Downtown Charlotte.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The one the property was pretty phenomenal back then. But I remember I walked in with a case of beer. Okay, we were sponsored by Budweiser.
Right.
I would still bring a case of beer. Like I don't freeload.
Yeah, that's it.
Right,
Always
right.
help with something, right?
So I walk in, and I remember J.R. Rhodes saying, "Why are you bringing beer?" I'm like, "Well, we're having a party here,
Right.
Yeah, I'm the new guy,
Right.
I get it, whatever. Don't bring any beer. We got sponsored by Budweiser."
I get it.
So next week, bring another case of beer. Dale Jr. walks up to me and goes, "Dude, didn't J.R. Rhodes tell you not to bring no beer?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not a moocher."
Right, yeah.
He goes, "Let me explain to you this better way. If you bring another case of beer, I'm gonna fire you." I go, "Point
Okay,
taker. I got
Right.
it." And I go,
Well, I want a Yingling.
So-
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Real quick, so J.R. Rhodes was Dale's PR guy
Yeah.
for years.
And big seniors.
Yep, seniors.
Yeah.
And then he came over to DEI or a few years later, and then he kind of stepped in the role of taking care of Dale Jr.'s business aspects and stuff like that.
Good, great guy.
So,
One of the
yep.
best, very, very well respected in the
Yep.
garage. And
Yeah. So I don't mind Budweiser, because when Harvick had it and I was on that team up there, I drank Budweiser.
Well, I drink it at Victory Lane.
You know what I mean?
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys support your sponsors.
They
too.
taste
Yeah,
good at Victory Lane.
I mean, I was a closet Miller drinker, but I was a
Yeah.
openly, Budweiser.
Most of
What
those-
did the horses?
Yeah, I still have every can from every Victory Lane. I
Right.
noticed I saved all it because those are moments there.
Yeah.
So one of the moments that Jay will always be etched in eternity is the 2004 Daytona 500. So when Dale Jr. stops on the front stretch and he whips his leg out of the car, the first person he jumps into is Jay, and then the rest of the crew comes around. So there is Prince, there's all kind, and you're in every one of those. And I to this day, like you're in some Prince here with Michael.
Right.
Wish I got paid for that. It's kind of retired by now.
Yeah,
huh?
but you know,
That was just a moment. That was
but it was a great moment.
That was
Yeah,
my first Daytona 500. Now we're going back up. They
Okay.
won it the year before.
right. So
We
15.
were going. It was 8 and 15. We had
Right.
a battery go dead that first year. I was
Right.
like, dang, So we won it, and we just all just took off. It was like, let's go get them,
Right.
And just a raw. That's probably one of the most
Yeah.
emotional. It was really very emotional.
Yes.
It was like, holy crap! I worked my whole life to get this. Just like any driver, you win a Daytona 500, and your life is complete.
Right.
I feel like and
You
to
know,
win that-
I'll say it like this: people don't realize that that's kind of like because we watch it when we're kids.
Oh, God.
You know, we're watching this
Yeah.
on ABC Sports.
Yeah, I'm an 11, 12-year-old kid.
Right, and you're
watching
watching that,
Daytona
you're watching
500.
that,
Yeah.
and then you're there and you win one.
Yeah.
And it's like your hair standing up on your arms,
Yeah, oh my
and
gosh.
it's like what
It's
just
a
happened to me?
surreal. It's a surreal.
Very
deal.
surreal.
Because in 2004, I think that was. Man, do we have camera phones back then? We had Nextel. That was the
Nextel,
right.
That was the first Nextel race.
Right.
We got the Victory Lane.
Yeah.
You know the walkie well, I got pictures. Now I've been off the road for this almost 2 years. I go through a bunch of pictures. I started putting stuff up. That
You should.
I look at my closet and I go, I forgot I had this. I forgot I had that
Pictures,
because
photos,
you're in racing, you win on a Sunday.
And Monday.
And
It's gone. It's almost gone.
You go tear the car down, and then it's over, bub.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, except for that 504, we kind of.
Well, that was a long night.
That.
Well,
I just remember there was
Some of them you milk for about 3 days.
all I remember is that night as we went out.
Yep.
We got to the car, we got in the trailer for
Right.
Daytona USA.
Right.
All I remember is we had to pit the Busch car for Dale Jr. because it got rained out Saturday.
Right,
Well,
right.
Cup pit crew did the Busch car.
Right.
Well, Dale Jr. went back to the bus. So we're like, bye.
Bye.
We met Ty Norris, a bunch of them down at Ocean Deck or
Ocean
something.
Deck, that's what all that.
And all I remember is me, Troy, and I always come back in enough time to basically take a shower, brush your teeth,
Go to the
go to breakfast.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, I ain't eating no breakfast.
Right.
Okay, that ain't going to happen.
Right.
Did the whole ceremony. We actually left there, walked across the track, got our Oreo fire suits on. Go there, me, two, beer, and him. We picked the car one time.
Right.
We won. We all went back to the truck change and walked back. We didn't go to Victory Lane. And we were like, yeah, good luck. Good job, guys.
I remember there was a lot of gum and breath mints at breakfast
right.
the morning after.
That's the only time I never went to Victory Lane and I won a race. So.
But the thing I remember, because I was so confident we were going to win. I was working with John Andretti, and he was running for DEI thing.
Yeah.
That I had on the shirt that was his sponsor, but underneath it I had my DEI polo shirt. And so five laps to go, I'm like feeling like Superman. I'm fighting like I'm fighting a shitter, porter shitter, and I rip it off real quick. And sure enough, he goes.
I could see me run to get Dale Jr. and somebody hit me going, get away!
No. Like I was standing, like I didn't know what to do. So I remember running out because NASCAR was go get him, and so we're out there, and you're looking up, and I just remember I'm getting goosebumps right now. It was like a snapshot of your mind, looking up, and the fans were going crazy. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, how does a little kid from Buffalo get here?"
Yeah, and that's like I said, that was all worth it. You know what I said? I mean,
Yeah.
I got a little ragged, like, oh, you caught. I mean,
So
let me
what?
tell you something, man.
They
We just won the Daytona
Right,
500.
right.
I got a ring from the year before with Michael. Yes,
Right.
we worked at DEI, but I
Right.
didn't work on the 15
Right.
car. Okay,
Yep.
so that was like I call it my first one.
You were a direct part of that.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it was-
With Tony Jr., Tony
Yeah,
right,
Sr.,
you're involved.
all the guys that were on that team. Yes.
And what people don't realize is that winning that is such a drug.
Oh,
It
you're kidding me?
is you talk about people be addicted to stuff. We're addicted to this.
Yeah.
We are addicted to this sport.
It takes a lot for me not to watch it.
Well,
watch
fast
it.
forward into like last year, so you think about it, I traveled for 23 years. Left on Thursdays, come home on Sundays.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it,
You were
right?
coming off the road for 15
I come off
right
the and for 10 years I was supposed to come off the road,
I'm gonna
right?
come
I'll
off the
come off the
road,
road
okay.
next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
I see you in Daytona January.
I said, hey, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm going to come off the road. Okay? So I come off the road last year, and now I'm coming home from working Friday. I'm watching qualifying. Saturday, I'm watching the practice. I'm watching the.
Yeah, you're still there.
I might as well be
You're
there.
still there.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
And until I went to a Supercross race in Atlanta.
Okay.
It was the first time I got away from the TV, and it
Right.
helped me. But you're right. When you do this and you're passionate about this sport and you give your whole life to it,
Right.
which
Right.
that's basically what I did,
Sure.
and I still do.
Right.
I'm not a guy that doesn't pay. I know what's going on all Friday,
All the
Saturday,
time.
Sunday.
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
always.
I might not. I may be playing golf on Sunday.
Right, but you,
I know
you
what's
got
going
your
on.
phone
I
open
know
and
what's
you're
going
looking,
on.
you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I'm not one of those
man.
guys that come to the shop and go, how do we do this weekend?
Right.
First of all, don't say that because
Right.
if I can fire you, I'll fire you right now.
Exactly.
If I was your boss, but yeah, you stay connected with it. It's just like you said. It's a.
Yep.
If I did any drug, the racing was my drug. That was my fix. You
I
know?
remember the year
Exactly.
at DI we swept Bristol.
Yeah, that was probably the best one of the best
and
weeks
I,
ever.
And I wasn't there, and I come walking in on Monday. I'm like, whoa, everybody! I'm like, yeah. Everyone's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
I'm like,
this is over.
okay. Like,
Yeah,
we swept Bristol, you guys. Hey,
Yeah.
what's up?
you know,
Okay, that's fine.
but you had to have that mentality.
Right.
You couldn't sit there and go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday like, yeah, we kicked their butt.
Right.
Dude, we're already working on
Next
like,
week, yeah,
You know how this race is.
Sure.
We're 2
You're
weeks
done.
ahead. Like
Yeah, you're done.
right now, we're finishing Phoenix cars.
Right.
But the guys in the shop are putting the Martinsville cars. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
You're always ahead, and you can't think about it. You can't. And again, like I said, I look at my closet and I forget about half the stuff I did, and so I start pulling out and going, "Huh, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that." Like John Andretti, I forgot John Andretti drove our car up Pocono when Dale
Yeah.
Jr. got hurt.
Yeah.
And we pulled him out, and I was on the right side. I
Right.
had some nice pictures of it. And I was like, So when John passed, I was like,
Right.
here's a good picture to
Sure.
Yeah,
show people.
yeah.
You know, what a great guy.
So, anyone has any questions or comments right now? Chime in. We'll ask Jay. So, DEI that ended when that whole
So 2003, 2004, Dale Jr. 2005, we did the swap,
swap. Yeah,
which was interesting.
sure.
Okay,
Nice way to
we almost
put it.
won Phoenix.
Right.
Kurt Busch beat us at the end there.
Right.
Had some good opportunities. We had all the 8 cars.
Mm-hmm.
Michael drove them, so that was a good deal. It was 6 and 7. Dale Jr. got back. 08, he's over at Hendricks. We got Mark Martin and Eric Almirillo. So Mark Martin drove 26. Eric drove 12.
Right.
Great to work for Mark Martin. I've been blessed to work with some really good
Sure.
drivers. Mark
Yeah.
Martin's one
What
of
was
the
he
top.
like? What was he like?
Mark.
Away from the track.
Awesome. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, he didn't go out with us or stuff like that,
Sure.
but Mark was genuine. Like, you got in the car, he was focused. He'd do something on a seat, old school way, you know,
Right.
stuff like that. That's what's the way Mark
Put his
was.
knee pad on.
Yeah, put his knee pad. I got him away from the knee pad after a
You
while.
got him away from that?
Yeah,
No.
wasn't gonna get away with the air conditioning. That was never gonna happen.
Right.
You know, Mark's old school. Some drivers gotta have it, but yeah, we come close to like 5 or 6 races we
Yeah.
should have won. Phoenix, we run out of gas. We had a pit. We had everything cleaned. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
And
I was actually still with you guys then when that was
I remember
going
that guy
on.
getting out of the
Yeah.
car, and Mark gave me a hug. He goes, "I'm so sorry." I go, "No, we're sorry that we had a hit." You know,
Right.
but great deal. Been friends with Tony Stewart for a long time, and was going on vacations. And Eddie Jarvis had asked me what we're doing the next year.
Right.
Kind of saw the DEI deal getting ready to go.
Eddie Jarvis
it was
is Tony's
Eddie Jarvis, Tony Stewart's manager.
It was the DEI deal was starting to crumble.
You could
crumble
see,
bad.
you could see the walls were coming in on
Yeah.
DEI, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, what's going on here? You heard the whole Ganassi,
Yeah.
partners up, one car going over there. We want to stay together.
Sure.
You got all the Tony Jr. had left with, I think he took 3 people that was part of the contract. They go and take 3 people
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
year. Next year you take 5.
Okay.
So that option there was going to come up, I thought. But we all want to stay. We had Tony Gibson, crew chief, and we had Kevin Pinnell,
Two beer.
Two beer. Yeah.
We had our whole 8-car guys still together, except for
Right.
B. Hoover. B. Hoover went to RCR at that
Yeah,
time.
right.
But the rest of us were all there. So long story short, we went and had a meeting at Haas Racing because, hey, Tony Stewart's going to get part of this race team. Half this race team is
This was
going to be
before it
Stewart-Haas
became
Racing.
Stewart-Haas, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Haas Racing. We want you guys to come over here. Tony wants all you guys to come on Ryan Newman's car. So they kind of explained all that to us. I was like,
Right.
man. This
And once again, you know, I'm at RCR at the same time,
Right.
and there was a couple of us who wanted to go, and the way they structured it was our DEI. I'm sorry, I said RCR.
Right.
DEI would only let a certain amount of people go
Right.
Yeah.
to
There's
Stewart
12 or
Haas.
15 is like, that was part of the deal. Like,
How they can do that, but anyway.
it's a weird deal.
It was whatever deal they made,
Yeah.
Right.
and so
That's when deals started working where
yeah.
you almost had to ask permission to talk to somebody.
Right.
That's kind of
About
how it
Owners
started.
and stuff, because
Yeah.
I was trying to go to Stewart Haas with these
Right.
guys.
Okay.
I was
We really didn't want them.
I don't know what hurt his feelings, but
I ended up at RCR.
Sorry.
real quick, excuse me, Tom Mount
Oh, Tom Mount.
says, "Cheers, guys! I remember a skinny kid that helped bigly." Hey,
So
Jay.
Tom Mount, believe it or not, used to race at Brains in Florida. Tom Mount, we used to race against him in the late models.
Okay.
And Tom was one of the first guys that I knew that actually was a Florida guy down my way that went up to North Carolina
Right.
to work a race car.
Okay.
Worked for Alan Quickie back in the days.
Tom
when
Mount is a Alan Kowicki champion,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
and he worked with me at RCR
Okay.
in the R&D program.
Again, going back to another
Right.
guy, I haven't seen Tom Mount in years.
Right.
But Facebook or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah,
Connect.
that
Great
was one,
guy.
Yeah,
Super
that was
guy.
one of the things that I said. Here's a guy because you never heard nothing about anybody from South Florida going.
Right.
Tom Mount was probably the first guy from like Sarasota, Bradenton area that way that actually did it and
Right.
left and won a championship. And
Yeah.
then my crew chief Tony Gibson worked with them there. So
Wow, okay.
small world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my brother in Vegas wants to know how many borrowed race car tires do you have behind your personal garage?
So believe it or not, this is a true story. I have no sheet metal. I
No.
have no tires.
Right.
I have nothing. Like
Okay.
I had one thing, and this is a true story. In 2003, my first race with the 8 car was the
Right.
Bud Shootout.
Yep.
We won it.
Won
That
it,
was
yeah.
Dale Jr.'s.
Yep.
I got the hood off that car.
You do.
Okay, so this is where it gets funny. Okay.
Okay.
I had Dale Jr. sign it.
Okay.
Okay. I've had that hood for how many years, right?
Right.
So when's Dale Jr. retire? 17, 18? 17.
17.
Right.
Tony did 16, 17. I call him up. I said, hey, I got a retirement gift for you. He goes, what you got? I said, well, I have the hood off the Bud Shootout car from 03. He's like, you have that hood? I'm like, yeah. I guess, how did you get it?
Yeah.
I said, well, we got home. We cut the body off it because it, again, wasn't fast enough.
Right.
Right.
Even though we
And I
won
said,
with it. Yeah.
and said, you signed it.
Okay.
I said, I've had it in my garage
For all this
all
time.
these years. I lost it for about a year and a half when Mike McLaughlin came over for a party at my house, and they stole it out of my garage for a year. That's a whole nother story. But anyhow, I said, hey, I'd like to give it to you. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So he goes, bring it over to me. So I go over there in my truck. He jumps. You know Dale Jr. is. He
Sure, yeah.
He
Yeah,
just jumps in there.
yeah.
He's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you really do have
Fired
it.
up about
I'm
it.
like, yeah. So we want in your shop? He's like, no, let's go in the house. So we walk in the house. Amy's
the
there.
house.
In the house. In the front of his house. Amy's there, gave Amy a hug and stuff. And he's like, so Amy, he explained to Amy, this is the heavy hoods that we used to have. This is what, you know.
Right.
He goes, put your name on the back of it and put what it is. I'm like, put my name on the back of it.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, put Jake Guarneri, put 2003 Bud Shootout. I'm like, I said, why? You gonna tell Teresa I've had it for all these years or what?
Am I in trouble?
Yeah. He goes, no. He goes, I'm gonna put it up in the barn or
Right.
the shop.
Got it.
And he goes, when we're drinking one night and we sit up and go, which one is that hood?
Right.
We'll flip around and see your name on
Okay,
there.
perfect. Got it.
So that was his retirement gift.
So at DEI, there's still a lot of sheet metal sitting up in some storage areas, and
There's a lot of
she
stuff.
kept hoods. Everything had to be kept. Nothing
Destroyed.
destroyed. Nothing could be. So that's why he said how he got away.
If you got the hood out, yeah,
Yeah,
this is
Teresa,
again, right time, right place. I told Tony Jr., hey, can I get that hood since you're going to throw it away
Right,
anyhow?
sure.
He's like, yeah, what do you want it for? I said, well, my first race. I
Sure.
want it, you know.
I got it.
I got something really badass in my garage that Randy Earnhardt gave me.
Okay.
Before
Yeah,
it's a Xfinity Busch car.
right.
It's an 8. It was a Menards.
Yep.
It's orange,
Uh-huh.
and it's the one that he led every lap
In the Busch race.
in the Busch race.
The Gossamer car.
No,
No, it was all
I actually
orange.
built that.
Oh,
one.
okay.
It was a speedway car.
Okay, the Journey Motorsports car. Which one was it?
Well, it was probably it was a chance too, right?
It was a Menards.
Okay, that's
it was
right.
a Menards
Okay,
car,
yep.
and it's orange.
Right.
The Gossamer car, me, Clements, and Mike Rout
Built that, and that's now in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Junior's place.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Gossamer
when
car
you-
was badass.
When you went from when you realized that DEI was coming to an end, you were all like, "Oh man, this isn't good." And then you went over to Stewart-Haas, and now you've been there since 09?
12 years, yeah.
12
This is our
years.
12th season.
Wow, that's
Hard to
good.
believe, isn't it? So we all went as a group.
Right.
We had Ryan Newman the first couple of
Yep.
years.
Now but what do you got to get a good Ryan Newman story? Because he is very intense, but
Ryan-
he has a great little sense of humor.
So the
and he has,
first-
Ryan was harder to pass than a
So speaking of that,
12-pound.
but he also has a
kidney
memory.
stone.
He has a memory that
He's also a great
Yeah.
guy.
yeah,
and the smartest guy in the world.
yeah.
Okay.
He'll tell you.
But Ryan, I told Ryan when we started doing this deal, I go, well, I'm glad I'm on your team. He's like, why? You're the hardest son of a bitch to pass in the world. I said, MFing you all the time. I said, I'll be the guy getting MF this year.
good.
But it was a couple of good years. With the whole
What are
deal.
some big wins you had with him?
The first one we won was Phoenix.
Right.
Did 2 tires there at the end with 25 to go. And
Yep.
I'm going to be honest with you, even to this day, 25 laps to go, Newman up front,
yeah.
he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, forget it. He's
Newman's-
got you.
He's got you, exactly. Probably the Martinsville, after seeing that grandfather clock, which I wish I would have bought one back in the day, which now makes me want to go ahead and buy one back. But I just have room back in the
I'm
day.
sure you will.
We're looking at his grandfather clock,
Right.
by the way.
You can hear it in the background.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't
So-
have room to put the ceiling tile in.
Yeah.
That's right. Safe.
Well, that's what it is. I didn't have room for it, so I was like, I didn't want to get it and get
Right.
messed up or through the
Okay.
box anyhow.
Right.
But that morning, I remember telling Chrissy, I say, we had Outback first race. I said, we're going to win this race.
Yeah.
And she goes, huh? I go, I'm telling you, I got this weird feeling. And that was when we juked Clint Boyer. Clint
Right.
Boyer took out the 24 to 48.
Right, yeah.
We went by and we held off Allmendinger. So
Perfect.
those are 2 good wins. And then probably the loud one sitting on the pole was a 1-2 first for Stewart-Haas Racing.
Right.
Tony's outside pole. We were first.
Right.
We led a lot of that race.
Right.
We finished first. Tony runs second.
Well, that's
So
good.
for SHR standpoint, that was
Big day.
a big day for our company with 2 cars. So
Okay.
So Newman the first couple of years, and then when Danica come over, she did 10 races the first year as a start deal, get ready for the next year. And at the end of that year, they switched us. Tony goes, look, I want to put a group of guys that will give her 150%. We know that you guys build great cars.
Right.
We know your group's solid. We don't care who drives our cars. I'm like,
Right.
so we all, okay, let's do it. So the last 2 races of the year, we did Danica, that she had on our schedule. And then we went to Daytona 500 the next year, sitting on the pole.
So-
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And those are really good cars.
We had fast cars, and I'll tell you this. This is funny. I think I told you this last week. She get ready to qualify. I looked right at her. I go, now this is all about us today. It's not about you. Don't mess this up. It was kind of like a joke, but half
right.
alley going,
Right.
no, really, this is really
This
this
is
is really the SHR to put this
You
brilliant
you just gotta go like this, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, she got in the car. She goes, "How'd I do?" I go, "Good job."
You know what makes me mad is when I talk to people who haven't sat on a 500 pole,
Right.
and they'll talk bad about Danica or Austin,
Right.
or so you guys, I know the people who built that car.
Because you worked with a lot of them.
Yes, and
Right.
I know the work that went
Mickey
into
Russ,
that car.
everything
there's a
was-
lot of
yeah,
Two
all
Beer,
of
Mickey,
that.
I mean, all
Yeah.
you guys over there were
Yep.
from DEI and built that car and made it fast. And I go over to RCR and lo and behold, the 1 year we sit on the pole with Austin and
Right.
oh, he got the big plate or she got the big plate.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit. There's
Yeah.
no
Right.
such thing as the big plate.
No, it's
it doesn't work like
How many
that.
years
that's
have we-
one in the shop.
And that's the thing is a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of work. People don't realize
Hours.
That
dedication it takes for speed. We have
Yes.
guys that just strictly do speedway
Yes.
racing, and people don't realize like Kevin
time. Don't tell
Mickey
me when I
Russell.
put
Yeah.
$100 into a speedway car that he got a big plate.
No.
That's
Yeah.
crap.
Which
I
that
don't want to
doesn't
hear it.
exist,
You know.
and it's a shame because it takes away from the people that really work in the car.
Right.
So set the pole, run 8th with her.
Right.
It's like okay. We had some really good highlights with her. We got
Yeah.
the highest finisher with her, 6th at Atlanta,
Right.
7th at Kansas, and then the 8th. And then she finished. I think after we split up, we went to Kurt Busch deal. She
Right.
finished 7th at Martinsville.
Yeah.
You have a funny story about her off the track? Or just kind of like not
what?
racing related?
Yeah, not that we can talk about. No, no, she was good. I always told people that
Apparently,
any
Brett
girl.
Favre,
Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers ain't good enough.
But here's the thing: any girl that can
Gotta
go
go there.
230 miles around. If you go 230 mile an hour around Indy,
Yeah. Oh,
I'll tell
yeah.
you something.
Yeah.
The girl can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got Haley Deegan coming up too, and hopefully
Right.
she can learn some things off of that.
Mm-hmm.
But Danica was a real deal. And the same thing. You put her in the car, and you got to say, "Hey, you can do this.
Right.
You got to be confident. There's no sense to go in there if you can't do it." And like I said, we had some good runs, and then it just got to a point where we did our 2 years or 3 years, what it was, and then Kurt had done his first year over there, and he wasn't happy with the situation he was in.
Right.
And we were kind of like, and he's like, "Hey, I want all of them guys."
Right.
So we switched with the 2 races ago, and it's always like we switch at the end of the year.
Do you think if Kevin would have gotten there earlier to help her, that she could have done? Kevin's like a phenom.
Right.
Yeah, I think
you know what I
Kevin
mean?
did help her. You also got to be wanted. You got to be able to have.
You got to have the attitude.
And I'm sure
you got to have Chase Briscoe's attitude.
Right.
And that kid, we'll get to him too. That's a whole different story. But
Yeah.
you got to be open to people that have been in the sport for a long time.
Right.
Sometimes that gets in the way. Sometimes you feel like, hey, I've been in a couple of years. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
we all know
dictated-
that.
That's all
Right.
dictating yourself.
Right.
So Kurt Busch the next year. So
Right, real quick,
Go ahead.
the one thing about Danica, the first time I ever, punched in her radio to listen to her, I was like, I didn't know she was in the Navy.
yeah, she.
A little salty there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah,
That's I'll leave it there.
But,
She's bad, huh?
But hey,
was
I've
like,
hung out with her before.
Yeah.
She's, any driver can get in that car.
Right.
It's so intense.
Right.
I get
Yeah,
it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Adrenaline is so high.
Kurt Busch,
Yeah,
Kyle
yeah.
Busch,
Oh,
no. It's when you get out of the car. It's just you got to realize these people are in this car.
Right.
It's 100 and some odd degrees.
And they're
right.
battling.
They're battling. They
Sure.
can't get around this guy who's blocking or whatever.
They're
situation.
aggravated, I get
They're
it.
aggravated. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
I get it.
I get it.
I get it.
But once they get out of the car, they're fine.
Sure.
So you got to have thick skin in racing.
Right.
Let's just
Okay.
be honest with you.
Yeah.
you got,
Sure.
You got to take if they bitch at you for something, you just got to say okay, whatever.
I'll
Then
fix it.
get the car. So Kurt Busch example. So so in January they come up to us. I said, hey, we got a meeting. So we have a big meeting in our front there. And like, this is 16. I'm sorry, 16 with Danica. They said, hey, we're going to have a big meeting. They said, hey, next year in 2017 we're going to the Blue Oval. So we're like,
Oh, he switched.
we
That's
switched.
right.
The Fords,
We're
yeah.
like, we're like, what?
Yeah.
We're like, really, that was a joke. But then Tony was like, we're going to switch. Just want you guys to know this year,
Mm-hmm.
that next year. I'm like, wow, okay.
Okay, you've
Wow,
been
well,
Chevy
well,
all-
well, yeah, with
been
Chevy.
Chevy all the
I've been with
time,
Chevy
yeah.
my whole life. I was
Right.
like, so everybody was kind of like, wow. So anybody got any questions? So I just raised my hand. Of course, I'm the only guy to ask the question.
ain't gonna
No, you
No,
can
yeah.
I'm not gonna drink it. Thanks, Dan. I got work tomorrow. You must be off.
Man, Warren is a team player.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he's on the second shift. But go ahead.
So
Yeah.
Bush Light, I would drink it. Okay.
Go. Guys. Team
See, I'm
guy.
smart. So anyhow,
Carnival's next door.
I was wondering who's doing stuff inside the
That's
car.
Carnival.
So,
Yeah.
long story short, I raised my hand. Nobody
Right.
asked any questions. Like, hey, Jay, what you got? I said, I've got one question.
Right.
I says, Doug Yates building our motors. And he goes, absolutely. I go, boys, we got nothing to worry about.
We'll be right
I text Doug. I said, Doug, this is awesome. He goes,
Right.
Jay, we're so happy.
Yeah.
I said, and you guys Doug Yates this year, get him on here. I said, next year we're going to Daytona 500. He goes, all right. Okay, that's 2016,
Right.
January. So 2017, we go down to Daytona.
Right.
we get killed in the 150s. We had to put the whole right side on
Who's
the
the driver
car.
then?
Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch, okay, yeah.
Had to put the whole right side of the car. Long story short, during the race, we get hit this way, this way. The car looks like a Martinsville car, right?
Yeah.
Come in, tape it up. 20 laps to go, the mirror breaks.
So you can't see.
Oh, this is where it gets good. Now the interior guy is
It's your fault.
my fault, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, not bracketing. I mean, there ain't no way the hose clamp. I mean,
Right.
there ain't no
Yeah.
way.
Right.
And Gibbs goes, did he say the mirror come off? He goes, he said the mirror broke. So I just left it at that. Well, thank God the mirror broke, because if he looked in the mirror, he probably would have lost the race. That's what I told him. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Well, after the race is over, the mirror's hanging. The hose clamp was still up
It's
there.
still where it belongs.
It broke the aluminum bracket.
Oh, okay,
Because
got
he
it.
was a guy that always took the mirror and went,
He was
5-6 times
he
during the
was-
race.
Oh, yeah.
Between the race,
Yeah.
during the race, he's always
Leave it.
leave it
Yeah.
alone. I said the best thing you did is broke that mirror.
Right, so you
I
can
said
see
because
the
you would have
line.
screwed up. You would have screwed it up, you know. So we went to Daytona 500.
So how-
Doug Yates comes in the
Go
victory
ahead.
lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that you called
Oh, that's
here.
right, yeah.
I said I told you.
Huh.
So that was good times. So
How many 500s do you have to your credit now?
3. So Kurt Busch was the last one.
Right.
Dale Jr. and then if you want to call him Michael,
Michael,
which
okay,
is
got
still
it.
part of the
That's
company.
fine. That's
Right.
great.
So we did 3 Daytona 500s.
Yeah, we're tied.
So I did Kurt Busch's for a couple of years, and then I was getting ready to come off the road. Gibson was coming off the road. Eric called me. He's like, "Hey, you know I'm coming over there." I said, "Yeah, but you also know me and Gibson are coming off the road, right?" He goes, "Well, I knew Gibson was coming off the road,
Right.
but I didn't know you were."
Right.
And I said, "Yeah." I go, "I'll tell you what, you could drive a race car. I told you that back in the DEI days.
Right.
This is your best chance
So
to
you're,
win races."
you're reuniting again with
Yep.
someone you worked
Yep.
with.
I said, so we made a deal with them back then. So I got a helmet. I got a nice little helmet collection. It started with Dale Jr.
Right.
So Dale Jr. gave me a helmet signed to me, and then Mark Martin gave me a helmet. Well, Eric only ran 12 races. He was, 21 or something?
Right.
Kid had one helmet, right? He's like, he looked at me when Mark gave him, he goes, "I only got one helmet." I said, "I'm going to make you a deal right now. Well, you make it big, because you're going to make it big time.
Right.
You owe me a helmet."
Right.
Okay, now we're going to fast forward 10 years later, right?
And guess what?
He comes over there, and I said, "I'm going to make a deal with you." He goes, "Oh, anything." I said, "I'll go on the road for you one more year."
But I want to know.
I said, "It's going to cost you." He looks at me and goes, I didn't have to tell you. He goes, "Any helmet you want." Deal. So that was my last helmet I got for my collection.
Okay.
So
It was good.
we should have won 4 or 5 races that year in 18.
Right.
We won Talladega, and that was my last win at the racetrack.
Right. So Warren gets the wings for the one wing challenge.
I'll get him.
So you had a roommate for a couple years. He might be in the Hall of Fame. Tony Stewart. So he was your boss and your housemate. At the same time?
So we went over to my house for New Year's Eve before we started Stewart-Haas Racing, and he was back in Indy for his last year at Gibbs.
Right.
We're playing pool, yada yada, and he's like, "Who lives here with you?" I go, "Just me." And I had upstairs with basically a game room / master bedroom up there.
Yeah.
Long story short, he goes, I said, "Why?" He goes, "I need to find a place to live." I said, "Yeah, I don't want to go back to my condo." I go, "Okay, well, you can live here. I don't care."
Right.
And that was it.
Right.
Well, me and Aaron Kuhn, who works on the 41 car,
Yeah.
you know, old Beaver.
Yep.
So we're down at Daytona, down in Charlotte at Whiskey River, the bar down Whiskey River. He calls me, he goes, "Hey, where you at?" So me and Beaver, we're down at Whiskey River. He goes, "Well, we're at your house." Him and Sacco. What do you mean you're at my house?
Yep.
Yeah. "Well, we're here, huh?" "All right." He goes, "Where your key at?" I'm like, "Well, I told him how the key is."
Right.
All right. So I come in about 3 o'clock in the morning. Sacco's downstairs, moved in. Tony's been upstairs.
Moved
I'm like,
in?
Yeah. I'm like,
They're moved in.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, we got all our stuff. We went in. I'm like, okay. So real quick on this deal, so Stewart goes, "So what do I owe you for rent?" I go, "You don't owe me nothing.
Right.
You take me on vacation." So
Right.
I'm
Perfect.
very, "I'll do that because you're my friend." I go, "Well, you live here because you're my friend."
Right.
So Sacco goes, "I get to live here free too?" I go, "No, you're $250 a month."
You're $250 a month.
Where you live for $250 a month,
Yeah,
right?
he's an
Right.
official.
So, he goes, so that's what he said. He goes, "So the $45,000 official has to pay you $250 a month, and the multimillionaire gets to live upstairs for free." I go,
Yeah.
"You got a jet?" He goes, "Nope." I said, "You take me on vacations?" I go, $250 a month. I don't owe nobody nothing.
You employ me? Yeah. Okay.
Right. Am I going to get through tech?
Yeah.
I was going to ask that. All right, as the clock chimes again.
All right,
All right,
let's
so this
do
is the
this.
one wing challenge.
Okay.
You take a wing,
Okay.
and I'll tell you where it's from in a second.
Okay.
And I'll
These
tell you
smell really good.
Yeah, I'll tell you the flavor. All right, I'm going to give you a hint where they're from. I'm going to say one thing, and you guys figure it out. Dale Earnhardt Incorporated Christmas Party. Where are they from?
10 o'clock Charlie.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I tried to do that place on the corner. I knew exactly where it was. I couldn't do it.
But so 10 o'clock Charlie's is a place in Mooresville that was really close to Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, so we'd have our Christmas
Is it
parties.
sriracha?
No, that is actually Barbelo.
That's good.
It's not bad. It's really good.
Yeah.
I want to say so. We after the party would wind down, and we drank all the liquor. We snuck in. We all needed more, so we'd go over to 10 o'clock Charlie's.
Right.
And we would just invade this.
Barbelo.
A couple hundred people.
I
would
used to
come
know
in.
her.
Oh,
She
jeez,
does.
here we
Yeah,
go.
but after DEI Christmas parties, that's where we used to go.
We go. Yeah. We used to just jungle in there, and we had a good time there.
Yeah.
Barb.
All right.
Go to
All
Barlow.
right, so here we go. Between 1 and 5, and the ratings will be like 2.6, 4.8, or 3.2.
These are really good.
Yeah.
Okay,
These
so
are really damn good.
Give me the flavor. Your rating on the flavor.
It's a Barbalo.
Huh?
4. I'll scale from 1 to 5, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 4.
I'm going 4-5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
All right.
These are really good. The Barbalo one, you bring some other Barbalo ones
No.
over, they were really
Right.
good.
So I'm gonna go a.
Because I like the heat and I like the sweet.
I'm gonna go 4.6 on the flavor. And the wing itself, I'm gonna be honest, it's a little smaller than I like, but they are meaty and they're tasty. So
I'm
good
going
with that.
I'm going 4-5, 4-5.
All right, there
I'll
you
go,
go.
I'll go 4 or 5.
All right,
Yep.
there you go.
I'm gonna have another
Challenge.
one.
You are. That's why we get 5.
Barbalo.
Barbaro.
Good old gal.
Good old days, right?
Sorry. All right. Well, Jay, before we wind it up here, I want to say thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for coming, buddy.
Appreciate you guys, yeah. Good times.
It's good to reunite.
Yeah.
We've been kind of on a reunion tour the last couple weeks with the people we've
Yeah.
been on. So
Well, we've
appreciate
had, so far we had
Clark,
4 or 5 people from Stewart-Haas.
right?
We've had Brill,
Right?
Crystal,
Right.
Jay. I'll call Clark a Stewart-Haas guy
Yeah, 'cause of Ford.
because he's Ford.
So you want to talk about Briscoe real quick for a
Real
second?
quick. Let's,
Yeah.
that's why I want you.
So
that's one
Briscoe-
thing I want to get to.
So they announced today, I heard that
They did?
it's got a 14 car. That's
Yeah,
good.
this morning.
Yeah,
But you didn't know that, right?
No.
Go
But
ahead.
let me tell you
I'll-
something. You talk about a very humble kid.
Yeah.
I spotted for him, second spotted for him at Road America a
Right.
couple months ago. Very appreciative. Wait for everybody to get off the plane, shook his hand, and said thanks for coming
Yeah.
to do that. The real deal. I'm telling you, this kid is your next Jeff Gordon.
I think
I'm
he's
telling
you. So, really?
He's going to be.
He's a humble kid.
Right.
You know, I know he went out there and said, "I'm going to win 8 races this year."
Right. He won 9.
Confident. Fair,
So
I like
far, right.
confident. Not cocky, but I like confident. But just here's where I knew this kid had it. When you're in an Xfinity race and you outrun Kyle
I
Busch
said
at
the same
Darlington,
thing. I said the exact
that
same
right
thing.
there. And I remember calling Smoke after he went poking. And I said, "Don't mess around with this kid. You break him down." And when he went Indy, it just
Yeah.
you know what it is. And Tony told me this a long time ago. I remember this one thing he did tell me. He goes, "These kids, when they're coming up, you know, they're doing this, doing that, knock the clips off, all that."
Right.
He goes, "It's like a switch goes off, Jay." He
Yeah.
goes, and they just come out of the box, and they're just they get it.
Right.
They understand
Yep.
it. They know what it did to knock the clips off, and they got to go through that little transition. But when they do, they're going to make it or break it. And
Right.
that kid right there is going to make
Yep.
it.
You know, okay, so the 3 of us here are pretty experienced guys, and you see, like I've been with Steve Park, I've been with guys that are not winners in the sport,
Right.
and all of a sudden they win,
Yeah.
And that's it.
and they know what they need to feel in the car, and then all of a sudden it's boom.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Once they figure out once they get that touch,
what,
that
exactly
feel,
what they need.
and I'm telling you, that kid he's
Yeah.
got it, and you know, and it's good the way he came up through. I mean, a couple years ago, he was doing like an ABC deal
Sure.
with the Roush deal and all that stuff, and he came over and drove the Xfinity car for SHR
Right.
and won it
Yeah.
at Louisville.
Yep. And
Then
people
last
remember
year,
he won
this
the
year-
roll. You're like, oh, Chase Briscoe. That's nice.
Yeah, that was
And
like a
that's
5 or 7 race deal.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kinda like,
yeah, right.
What
Strategy.
happened there? Right.
Yeah.
And then last year he run really good, and like towards the end of the year he started to like okay.
Click.
Yeah.
And this year he just come out like gangbusters.
Yeah, it's a switch. It's definitely a switch
Right.
on the ovals.
Right.
You know, when they get
Yeah.
okay,
But he-
boom, I'm good. You know,
but he's-
I think that happened to Brad.
Oh yeah.
I think that happened
Same
to
thing.
Denny.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hamlin.
I think the really good drivers.
Right.
I think once they get that feel,
Watch
and-
out.
yeah,
Yeah. This kid's gonna be good.
Yeah, I just like his approach, his attitude, the way he's not shy about his faith, and he's just kind of like when we had him on here. I said, "Do you get noticed?" He goes, "No."
Yeah.
I said, "Do you get?" He goes, "No." I said, "He goes, you're out. No, nobody noticed me." I go, "It's probably going to change the way you're going."
yeah,
you know, so-
they're
Well,
gonna.
his dream came true. I mean, here's an Indiana boy. Came up the same way Tony Stewart did.
Right.
Right.
His goal was to drive a 14. I mean, he idolized that 14 car.
Right.
Right.
When you think about it, he's going to be driving that thing.
Yeah.
How can you not be on cloud
Right.
nine?
Sure.
Yeah.
Good for him, you know. But the kid earned it. It wasn't like, hey, your mom and dad gave $10 million. You got this
No,
wrong.
yeah,
This-
exactly. Yeah.
This is an old school way.
Yeah, and I think that's somewhat of our sport misses sometimes is
Yes.
that old school way of the guys that you know, I always say it like this: there's a Dale Earnhardt out there somewhere
Right.
that doesn't have a pot to piss in.
Okay.
That some kid
Not
that,
going to get the opportunity.
and
because
he'll
of
never get the.
You go Saturday night local track,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
a couple guys that are in that field that
Right.
can go up big time if they
Big
race.
time to do it.
I understand money buys rides. It
Right.
still does.
And
If
we
you
know
have a
that,
sponsor,
unfortunately, that's where we're
it's
at.
been like that.
Yeah.
It's always been like
Right.
that. It's nothing any different. It's probably a little bit more now than
Yeah.
later.
Way more, yeah.
But still, I mean, for a kid like that to get the chance, it all worked out the last couple of years. He paid his dues,
Yep.
you know.
Yes.
And it's like a Jimmy Johnson story too. I mean,
Right. Jimmy came through.
used to live on Hornaday's couch.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's the same situation, I believe, and you know that's awesome. I think it's a Cinderella story. And,
Yeah.
Cinderella story.
and here he is. You know.
Perfect. All right, with that, we're going to say goodnight. It's a little after 10, so Jay, thanks for being on.
I'm finishing his beer.
He's finishing his beer, so shall we?
Yeah, say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Good
There
night,
we go.
Dick.
I appreciate it. Jay Guarneri. Thanks, everybody. See you Tuesday night. Wow. Hey, another great show.
Great
Thank you
show.
so much, everybody,
Yep.
for tuning
Enjoyed
in.
it.
We appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night, and more. And I think the guests we've had have been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And the people that are following us, we appreciate it. We're reaching 42,000 people a month. Can you believe that? And we appreciate you watching. And
Right. We're having fun. Hope everybody else enjoys it.
that's it. And this is just a fun show. Bucket of beer, guys sitting around talking about it. So keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out our store and everything. But we appreciate you people, and we will see you next week. Right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you next week.